getting ready to set up for this live. I'm pretty much new to TikTok. So let me just fix up this lighting. Is a little drab over here. So let me just point this light more upward. Okay. Let me remove this light over here. Don't like this light here. I have another light over here. Not sure if you can see it. I'm not sure what light's lighting up over here. If you take a look at my ceiling, the wall, the floor. If you want to understand what it's all about, I'm technically not an artist. Yeah, so something's happening with my camera right now. I can't figure it out. Okay, so I'm back here. The camera is pretty small. Says that there's 3 watching right now. If you have any questions, what I do, or should I just jump into it? Just gonna jump into it. Who's here? See, they put on a lot of people come on, but most of them are not real people. I mean, at least that's what I've been told. So what do I do? Where does all this information come from? What did you see? I have been studying the cube for a few years. You can look at this as a dice cube. You can look at this as a dice cube. If we want to learn a little bit about these cubes and use the alphabet, zodiac sign, days of the week, months of the year, Chinese zodiac. If we want to go to the American zodiac, I don't have any, or I don't use very much of the analytics of, born on the 1st of this month and born in the 7th of that month. So what I can do right now is I'm going to show you what I do. I'm going to just go over what I use. I use the calculator to understand the alphabet and the cube. I use the piano to tell me a story. I'll use baseball, hockey, football, whether it's NFL or CFL, and give you my theory based on numerology, on how the field is designed. I'm not fully prepared tonight. Like I said, I'm coming here for the first time. So if you have any questions, do not hesitate. If we want to go to the alphabet, there are 26 letters, both in small caps and capital letters. They're both designed different. I use my guide, which is right over here. Well, I'm not this design, but my guide is the quadrilles right over here. Here's the quadrilles that I use in order to understand. Like if you went to a microscope and you wanted to see the size of a cell, well, on this page, these are all cells. This design over here, if you want to know the basis of this design, it's 5 this way by 4 this way. Being 5 across this way, I cannot get a point that comes going up. I will get a crossing over of an X. And I'm going to show you why if my screen just doesn't keep going down. And here's one of the reasons why. On quadrille paper, there's obligations. I'm going to either have this 1 square, this 4 square, or what is in between inside of this square. If you want, we can call this diamond a circle. And this is what happens when you put a circle, right, on the inside or on the outside. This is going to be that result. With the square and the circle, there's always going to be leaving over extra corners. In this square over here, you can put this one 4 times. This one will show up 4 times. Call it the window. Call this one 2 by 2. Call this one 1 by 1, 2 by 2. At the same time, what you're going to call this one over here, okay, is you're going to call it 1 times 1, and then you're going to call it 1 plus 1 and 1 times 1 equals to 2 equals to 1. This is your 1 area base. Call it 3. This one over here is 2 by 2. 2 plus 2 equals to 4 equals to 4 equals to a total of 8. This is going to be 8. This is going to be 3. It's called, what I created is star math, and I'm going to show you further on how this math works. It might seem pretty drab right now. It's the first time you're here. I've been doing this for 20 years. I still haven't come across to where I can align myself and explain everything fully in the ways that I'd like to. What else is inside of this is when we put a surrounding on this one, on this singular area over here, right? We get this design over here. And this is a 3 by 3 area, or 3 to the power of 2. So it's 3 times 3, 3 plus 3, equals to what is 6, equals to what is 9. So now we have the situation. We're going to call this 11 equals to 3. This is going to be 22 equals to 8. And this is going to be 33 equals to 15 slash 6. 1 plus 5 equals to 6. Over here. So that's what this does over here. So now I'm going to go on to, we have the planet Mars, and the numeric value for the planet Mars is number 51. The numeric value for the planet Earth is 52. Another way to mark this is V1 and V11. 5 and 2 is 7. V and 1 is 5 and 1 is 6, right? But planet Mars is the 4th planet, so I would actually be putting 1 on this side. Planet Earth is the 3rd planet, so I would be putting 1 and 1 on this side. What is the similarities between these two? V is the 22nd letter. So they're both going to be dictating themselves to this one over here as the 22nd letter. Then there's 1, 1, and 1 and 1 equaling to what is 3 and 7 equaling to what is 4 and 6. So now we're going to be putting Saturn, number 93, with Mars. Here we're going to be putting Uranus, okay, 94 with Earth. At the same time, we're going to get November. Right? And if we get November, are we going to get the reverse month for November, which really and truthfully should be February, right? But if we were going towards the zodiac signs, right, this would be the 11th month. We would be going, actually, if I can remember, just give me a second. This is the 11th month. The first month matches up with the 7th, so that means the 5th month matches up with the 11th month. They call that the key. And that would be May and November, equaling to 39 and 94. Note that Saturn is 93. Where do I get these numbers? N14, O15, V22, E5, M13, 27, 37, 54, 59, 69, 70. Well, did I get that right? Did I make a mistake on this? 25, 38, 43, 53, 63, 64, 65, 75, 85, 93. No, I didn't make any mistakes. Sorry, 94, 14, 29, 39, 49, 51, 56, 66, 69, 79, 89, 94. We have B and V and M and O. This letter over here, this letter over here, and this letter here, they're all noted to be even letters. They're all noted to be, let's say, the negative letter. We're going to go negative and positive. I can go odd and even. I didn't say God, I said odd. And I didn't say Eve, I said even. I didn't say God and Eve, okay? So when we add this one up here, it's 28 and 22 is 50, and that is 52. 52 and 42 equals to 94. I get this from the game of roulette, okay? I can possibly show you, well, let me see if I can get into my account over here. Just 1 second. Well, I'm going to show you over here where I get it. Okay, let me see if I got my camera's just offset right now. Where am I? Where's my ticky-tacky? Okay, so let me give this a little bit of light. So where it comes from is right over 1, 3, 5, 7. Oh, sorry, 1, 3, 5, right? 9, 7, 9, 12, 14, 23. 16 and 19, 18 and 21. These two are red, these two are red, these two are black. Where do I get this from? Right. Well, looks like everything just froze on me, right? Whoa. I think I'm a little frozen now somehow. Yes, somehow it keeps knocking me off and putting me back on and knocking me off and putting me back on. And sometimes I lose my head, like, where am I right now? Because I just have so much information, so much I want to talk about, and I'm just sitting here, like, doing this. Anyways, no pity, no pity, no pity. So let me get back on to where this all comes from, where this comes from here. Now, this is going to be a divider of the gate. I'm not bringing you to the very beginning where I started. If you want to know what it's about, I'm going to put my face back up on the camera. I'm going to explain it to you. First of all, you might see me coming off as all over the place, because I am. Sometimes I'm in order, sometimes I'm not in order. It's numerology, but it's not the analytical numerology or reading of the zodiac. I don't read the zodiac. I can do the analytics of the zodiac if I want, but I do not do that. I can tell you that the number 3 is going to be for communication, or as GG33 puts it, he says it's a criminal. Number 4 is for law and order. I can do numerology on give me your birth date and I'll give you your number. I can do that kind of numerology. But what I do is I find the story that's in the word. from each and every letter that is in a word, there is a story. And before we even give the definition of the word, okay, there's numbers that are going to come out from this. For instance, if I use the word card, the word card is 4 letters. The reverse alphabet, meaning, and I'm working on an alphabet right now, A1Z26, right? So the word card is number 26, C-A-R-D, but it's 4 and 22 equaling to 26, and that's the long count. What the long count or the high count means, it's the high total, C3, A1, R18, D4. You notice the way card ends up with RD, like in third, and the way DR comes to be doctor, and DR equals to 22, and the 22nd letter equals to the letter V, and the V reverse alphabet equals to the E. It gets very confusing, but anyways, the D is an even number. The R, the A, and the C, 2 single digits, are all odd numbers. The roulette table is even set up this way. All right, so the word card is 26. Every single letter has a 27 letter reverse, alphabet reverse, meaning if A is 1, the reverse complete alphabet, okay, is going to be Z26, 26 and 1. If B is 2, the reverse alphabet is Y. How about bye-bye is a reverse alphabet? You've associated the entire alphabet to bye-bye, right? And there's 3 kinds of byes. Now, if I did that, that means the A and the Z are on the outside. So if I take away the A and the Z, the 27, I'll be left what's on the inside. And what's on the inside of B counting all the way to Y, or 2 counting all the way to 25, noted that A1 plus Z26 equals to 27. The inside between 2 and 25 is going to equal to 324. Isn't that amazing? The vibration, the healing vibration apparently of Earth is 432. And the alphabet for this, let me make this screen, just want to see this. Okay, Jeremy had a question. I'm just starting to see this on my other pad here. It says welcome here. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, so the healing vibration to Earth, right? I have to make this a little bit bigger, my screen. I'm too small for me to even see myself. Okay, so we have this over here. 18 times 18, if I remember correctly, equals to 324. Now, I didn't finish off on this over here. I wanted to go back to November. Let me finish with this. This is rabbit. This is Earth. This is a gateway. And this here is what's going to show you what it is between the 2 gateways at the 7th gate. The reason is 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, is going to equal to 8 and 6. I will be with you in a second. 5 times 2, 5 plus 2, is going to equal to 10 and 7, 17, and this one is 6 and 8, 14. Now I have to show you down on my book exactly what happens with that. We're going to go to here, and we're going to go 10 and 7 equals to 17, and this is going to be 8 and 6 equals to 14. It's star math, always multiplication and addition. Now this one over here, if you notice, it's going to be Q17. But when you mark this as 17, right, you're also going to do the minus side, where it's going to be 10 minus 7 equals to 0C3. This is your base creation. I'm going to explain to you why. And this is us on the ring, separation of the 7th gate. Why 6 and 8? 1 and 5 equals to 6. 2 and 4 equals to 6. 3 and 3 equals to 6. Then we're going to go 6 and 2 equals to 8. 5 and 3 equals to 8. 4 and 4 equals to 8. I must be brilliant, right? I must be brilliant. But I don't think so. I'm not really brilliant at all, because the answer is right over here and over here at the same time. 3, 6, 9. Well, I'll put this up against here, right? I see 3 here, I see 3 here. I see 3 here, I see 3 here. Not here, because it's empty. And how do I know if anything goes in the center? Because when you flip it around, there's 1 in the center. This cube face, okay, is a 54 face. This is a 54 face. There are 6 sides, right? And if you want to take a deeper look, we're going to take a look. These are the pieces from Rubik's Cube. This is a middle piece. There's only 2 colors, right? This piece over here is a middle piece. There's only 2 colors. This, okay, is supposed to be 3, but the other one fell off of here. This is a corner piece. There are 8 of these times 3. There are 12 of these times 2, because there's only 2 colors. And then there's the centerpiece to Rubik's Cube. See, here's the 3 times 3. So that means if it's times 3, the 7, 9, 1, and 3 are sitting at the corners. So you're going to have 3 times 1, you're going to have 3 times 3, you're going to have 3 times 9, you're going to have 3 times 7 at every single corner. 9, 9, 9. 3 different colors, each color will get 9. 3 different colors, each color will get 7. But that's not true, because when you have the white on the opposite side of the white, right? See that? The yellow is missing, the opposite side of the white. When you have the 5, the opposite side, if I remember, is orange, and that's missing. And then the opposite, I think, of green is it blue, and then that's missing. So you can see we have 3 opposites and 3 opposites that are not there. So we know what can't be, and we know what could be, because of the obligations of these colors. The same thing for these numbers. We know what could be, and we know what isn't. If I show you 4, and I put it like this, you will see every number except for the 3. And you will see 5, 2, 1, and 6. And that's going to be 14. Now, if I flip it this way, you're going to see everything but the 2, and you will see 1, 6, 3, 4. That's its truth. If I flip it this way with the 1, you won't see the 6, right? But I do know you're going to see 4, 3, 5, 2. There's no rocket science here. This is the way this is made. Even the numbers, but now we're going to go a little bit deeper in this. When we have 1 and 5, we're going to have 6 and 2. When we have 2 and 4, we're going to have 5 and 3. So we'll go to 5 and 3, and we'll end up with 4 and 2. When we have 3 and 3, we'll flip it over to 4 and 4. And that's the exact equation, what's happening. But that's not all. We have some missing pieces and parts. Because if we look here, we have 9. Well, we only have 3 here. So we're missing 6 here and 6 here. Well, because I have 3 and I have 3, so I'm missing 6. Call that the void. We have 4 and 4. We go to number 4. And we have 4 corners. We're missing 5. So we'd be missing 5 and 5. Here's the 1. The 1 goes in the center. We have 8 around it. We're missing 8. Here's the 5 again. We did the 5. The reverse of the 5 is 4. Here's the 6. It's 3. And here's, let me just add these all up. And here's the 2, and we're missing 7. Here's the 2 dots, and we have 7 in between. Notice the headless horseman over here. That center goes with the rest of this. And the artwork is going to design a number 7. So if you want to look at what is 1 and 2, we're going to be counting 8 and 7 equals to 15. That is the reverse of this cube. So if you want to know where 15 is, it's right there. And that's the letter O. Your creation is from the letter O, from this cube. If you want to look at the 1 and 1 creation of 11, you're going to have what is, since there's 1 dot, we put 1 dot. I can either do it this way. That's not the way it goes. We're going to do it this way, the way I see it. And here is that complete dot area there. You have 8 here, and then we're going to have 2 of these. We're going to have 88. And it's the core center, the measuring point from this center. And that'll be 88. 88 represents Trump. 4 times 22 equals to 88. We have window, 88. We have purple, which is a mixture of red and blue. The red blood and add the oxygen to the blue blood, or whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to have 88. And what's so special about 8 is 8 returns to itself mathematically. And how does it do that? How does it do that? 8 times 8 is 64. 8 plus 8. 8 times 8 equals 64. 8 plus 8 equals to 16. 64 and 16 equals to a total of 80 and 48. This will be the son, okay, of the divided gates born into the heavens. Now, where in the world do I get all this information? And born into the third world. One of the reasons for that is the word bronze equals to 80. In order to get bronze, right? In order to get bronze, right? In order to get bronze, right, you have to be in third place, right? Third place. Why? Because bronze equals to 80. 80 is for third. Bronze gets to play both the silver and bronze and the gold. And the bronze. 20, 35, and it also says ounce. Ounce representing 11. Ons in French. 31 and 29 is 60. And 20 equals to 80. 2, 18, 15, 14, 26, and 5 equals to 80. But when you're adding this, you're going to get 43 and 37. Why? E5, R18, N14 equals 37. B2, O15, Z26 equals to 43. 7 and 1. 7 and 1. When we did the 88 before, we ended up with 64 and 16. This equals to 10. Reduce to 16. Reduce this to 1. Reduce this to 7. We end up with 7 and 1 equals to 8. 8 returns, 88 returns to 8. This over here, right? 3 and 7 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. But 3 and 7, 10 is not the same as 6 and 4, 10. Even numbers and odd numbers. Number 1, the house of number 1, according to games, goes between the negative and the positive. And I found this through the game of roulette. In the game of roulette, there's a color code, okay? And I'm going to go back to the floor. I'm going to see if I can stretch this out back to the floor, or let me get up a picture here and I'll show you on a picture so I don't have to go down to the floor. Just give me a minute. Hey, how is everybody? If you have any questions, what I do, if you're still here, do not hesitate. Please ask. I might miss. I'm sitting here all alone, so I do not know And apparently you should like. If you want to bring, I believe if you want to bring what they say is, not a piece of cake, but a pleasantry, which means I don't like to say certain words. I don't know at any time when they can just shadow ban and I'm not here or whatever. Anyways, in order to bring peace and understanding, to understand the word, right? I don't know why it's not showing me my. Just give me a second. It's not showing me pictures. Oh, view. I want to view. Okay, great. Okay. Just looking to see if I can get that picture. Okay, here it is. Okay, very happy. Get rid of this one. Get rid of this. Make this a little bit smaller. Okay. I think I have to make this a little bit smaller also. And here is what it looks like. Here's what the roulette table looks like. There's 36 numbers over here. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 12, 14. You notice the Y is with 14. There's a Y over here. There's a T inside the box. You can see 80 inside the box. It's crossing over. Over here, you can see 1, 1, and 1. Well, the actual numeric value for this area, right, is 111. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 is 111. 2 red, 2 black, 2 red. Then over here, it reconnects. Over here at number 23, notice the Y here and the X here, right? Oh, we got a prowler, right? Hey, Mr. Prowler with the big heart over here. You got to move. Okay, so we have this over here. So this is the top part of the roulette, 1 through over here 12, and then once you get to the next line, we're 13, 2 cubes, right? 36, right? You need 6 cubes with 6 sides to create 36. So that there's a story going on with that. So this is what happens here. Now, what it is 1, 4. Notice the way 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, 8 all create diamonds. Well, this is going to be related to the queen. The queen has 8 eyes, and her hat is on an angle. The hat of the queen is on an angle. So are all these on an angle. So what is this over here? And what is that over here? This becomes part of the ring over here. This is the cube over here. This and this are the same because this part of the board reflects this side of the board. If you notice the X here, then the Y over here, hello. Okay, the X over here, the Y over here, the X over here, the Y over here. This Y down here will reconnect to this once we continue down these numbers, right? There's 36 numbers here. In order to create this design, you have to have 36 here and 36 here. You're going to create the octagon in which we'll connect these two sides, and where the hexagon here and the hexagon here are now going to connect together, and it's going to go around. And if I get this correctly, it's 13, 13, down to 17, over to 20, down to where 22 is, 22 to 20, down to 17, and up to 13 again. And then each one of these, you see this? This is not me doing it on purpose. It's the way it actually happens. And you see these two that come together. Now, I'm not sure if I should have put the ass mark up or not. But because according to minutes in the day, 72, I have 36 over 36 equals to 7. Now I go this way. The first one, the second one, the third one. Why so many? Because until it starts to reflect, right? I have one area space like this. Oh, let me do it over here. See the way this one's on that side, this one's on that side. Here they come together. These two reflect each other. So we needed to create 144. And then I started over again, and this one would be 180, and I'm starting over again, this design. This is from the roulette table. So now when we get to what I was talking about, the 1 is negative and the 1 is positive, is here is 1, then 4, then 7, and then over here is 10. You notice it's in the yellow, the 10. And then the next one over here is 13, then 16, and 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. This one is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1, but this one is a different color. That's the way it's set up. So in roulette, right? Whoop. So in roulette, I don't know why it's so small. Yeah, so in roulette, the 1, the 19, the 20, the 1 and the 19 are red. The 10 and the 28 are black. 1 and 19 equals to 20. 10 and 28 equals to 38. 38 represents gold. 38 represents the club. 38 also represents this cube. It also represents the card. It represents the game. The reason for that is how the math brings the numbers together. And I'm going to explain that to you too. I'm going to do it basically as 6 times 2 is 12. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 and 12 is 20. T minus counting. Me, middle, me, half, me, sun. The word minus says M-I and then sun. The M and I are both dark letters or negative letters. Together, it's 22. The 22nd letter is V. The reverse is E. It's really, really, really complicated. It's not easy to follow. I understand. I'm still all over the place. I should be maybe saying something else, but if I start to explain how I explain things, I'm going to mix myself up for tonight. I've had some kind of, what was that? Plus flare no longer in use. Okay. Whoop. Just lost my monitor. Just give me a second here. Okay. Wow, where was I? Yes. So Rubik's Cube is set up that way. There's 8 corners in Rubik's Cube, and then there's here. I have to make my screen bigger or something. Anyways, my screen is really, really, I can barely see off my screen. I just can't see my screen anymore. There's a whole lot of stuff on my screen. Just let me try and figure out how I can fix my screen here. Wow, I just can't see this screen. Let me just give me 1 second. How do I get rid of some of this stuff? Scene. Wow, just, oh, this is crazy. I just can't see my screen. It's hard to continue. Let me see. What about this? Okay, I see myself way better on this screen. Okay, so then we have here Rubik's Cube, right? We have 2 colors here, we have 2 colors here, we have 2 colors here, we have 2 colors here. 4. Then we have 2 colors here, 2 colors here, 2 colors here, 2 colors here. Now on the bottom, right, I showed you 8, 8. I showed you a total of, sorry, showed you a total of 4 and 4, which is 8, and then there's another 4. There's 3 separate sides on this. There's 3 reverse sides on this. It's going to be 4, 4, 4 in order to get the centers. That'll be 12. There'll be 12 centers. And then in the center over here, there's a cube here on 6 different sides. So the center wrapping this cube is going to be a total of 18. Let's call it 18 high. And then the corners will be 8. There'll be 8 corners. 8 and 18. 8 and 18. Now, what's so special about 18? Well, this cube over here is the one dot centered to 8. That's your 18 high. It's representation for myself as your basic creation of the birth and the sun. Now we have 2 kinds of sun, S-O-N, 48, sun, and 54, S-U-N, sun. And it's the divided sun, okay? It's being divided up, this sun. And I'm going to show you why on paper. Not only that, the sun, S19, 19th letter S, 21st letter U, and 14th letter N equals to a total of 54. But S being 19, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. U being 21, 2 and 1 equals to 3. N, okay, N being the 14th letter, I'm trying to just maneuver around my kitty cat. Okay, and I'm going to show you this over here, right? Then I'm going to get back to the silver and gold. Sun as 19 and 21 and 14. 10, 3, 5. Did you know that when you add up the alphabet A through Z, it equals to 351? Did you know that the vowels equal to a total of 51? That if you added up the alphabet A to X, it'll equal to 300? If you see this, you will see these letters over here. If you're going to draw an ace, you can be drawing the ace this way. At the same time, you can have a left-sided ace, a left angle, and a right angle. This tells me I can draw a straight line right through the center, telling me that it's divided. The ace shows me a division. Also in the ace, I see the D letter, and at the same time, I see the C letter. D and C equals to 7. You would also say Mars and Earth. If you add up 1 through 13, it equals to a total of 91. 1 and 13 equals to 14. And that would be the ring around this cube. Always 14. Always the letter N. The letter N is also going to use these letters. How about Dan? How about something like that? It's a 1-for-1 exchange. The 14th letter, the 4th letter, and the 1st letter. It's a 1-for-1 exchange. We had this over here, right? 4 times 3, 4 plus 3 equals 7. 4 times 3 equals to 12. 12 minus 7 equals to 5. 7 plus 12 equals to 19. We end up with the divided E world. 1 and 9, 19. Do not forget that for now. Okay, don't forget that for now. I'm just trying to, right. I remember that the Y and Z, X, Y, and Z, right? This one equals to 51. If we're adding up our alphabet, don't count A and B because A and B plays its role in C. Everything starts at C. And this is going to be your bronze, okay? And it's going to be your RD, your third. And when you have the reverse alphabet of C, you're going to have X, and that's the 24th letter. You're going to go 3 through X, 54, and you're going to end up, I think it was what, this is where the dividing 7th gate shows up, as I just showed in my last piece, and I'm going to go back and show it to you again, right? The moon shows up over here. The reason for that is the moon is number 57, right? Mars is 51. The total of this is 108, and a 4-letter reverse alphabet is also 108. Do you notice the way October the 10th month, right, is the octagon? How the 8 and the 10 come together, right? And it just so happens that when you do get this octagon, right, if you get 2 of them, 8, and you put together 8 with 8, 8 plus 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So you have 14 right now. Out of 8 and 8, 16, you only have 14 because the other two are combined at the gateway in the door. Now, I'm not going to create all the design to connect all these octagons, right? If I do connect all the octagons, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm getting a little off course here, but I'll do it. And then we're going to create this octagon over here, right? And then when we create this, right, we end up like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 above and we have 10 below. And then we have one major octagon that comes in through this. 10 above, 10 below for your 20. T minus counting. Your 20 also comes out of here. Why does it come out of here? If I drill a hole, and when I drill a hole in one of the equations through this cube, on the other side you'll see 5, although you see 2. If I drill a hole from this onto the other side, you will see 5. The other 2 are already there. If I drill a hole in this onto the other side, you will see 7. If I drill a hole to the other side, you will see 7. There are 2 7s on this, and there'll be 4 5s. It will end up being 7 and 7 equals to 14, n, and then it'll be 4 times 5 equals to 20, and that is ET. Where do I get ET? The 5 is the E, and the 4 by 5 equals to 20, it is the T. The reverse of ET, okay, is going to be G and V. But when you put this together, it becomes 5GTV. And it becomes 2022. 222. Remember that. Big number. Now, how does 19 become the moon? Well, everything for me, and we're going to get back to the gold and silver, everything starts at 3. And here's the ABC. A and B equals to C and D equals to 7. When you go A, B, C, it equals to 6. When I go A, B, C, D, it equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. We start over again. In the fourth part, just like the leap year, you start over again in the leap year. So what happens? We go B, C, D equals to your 9 in the ocean world. We're always in the ocean. Your 9 is in the ocean, and this is your life. 6. Your rotation goes under what is BC, because it is both B and C that are connected over here. And B plus C equals to 5. What about B times C equals to 6, and 6 and 5 equals to 11, and that's your base creation. 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 equals to your basic creation. First, second, third. Now the thing about this, okay, let me explain, is that these two only happen inside of here. Now what we have is first, and then we have second. So maybe I'll stand on 17. In blackjack, you stand on 17. And if you're standing on 17, you're going to be doing this. You're standing on this right over here. The reason for that is because 5, 2, 6, and 1 equals to 14. Plus 3 equals to 17, and you're standing on Mars right over here. Your ABCD10 is your base. You've created a 6 life from the 9 birth from a total of 10, which is a difference of 1.5. It just so happens, okay, that M13, A01, R18, S19 equals to a total of 51. Now, when you count it to a single digit, it equals to 15. What's ironic about this is 33 by 47 equals 1551, in which where 33, 3 times 3 equals to the 9 birth, and 3 plus 3 equals to the 6 coming to life. Now, there's a difference between the 6 and the 9 when the multiplication and the addition comes, because in the addition, I must use a separation of 4 squares. In the multiplication, I can do the x in 1 square. And at the same time, you can see that I can also create my x inside the addition and bring the two worlds together. And this is why I call it the star system, right? And the other thing about that is the word 8. The word 8 is where the star is located on the keyboard. There's a story going on in this world, and the story is where everything is located and what stories it tells. That didn't make no sense. When you go to 8, if I have to write the word 8th, I do not add the T. Now I'm just going to go over here and just write this down for the fun in tic-tac and toe. They all include that T. 20, 20, 20. The difference is here is I, A, and here it's O and E. The I and A come from two different systems, and I'm going to show you where that is, and it comes out of the star system right over here. And that basic star system, okay, when you create a star, it can only be done right in that box over here, right? That box over here for your star. Second star system is when you take this box over here and you go to your 33, right? Here's your 33 over here. This is your 22. This is your 33. And inside the 33, right, is an 11. 1 times 1. 1 by 1 area, 3 by 3 area, 2 by 2 area. Where there's 4 1 areas inside this area. The math is going to tell you a story. 2 times 2, 2 plus 2 will equal to 8. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 will equal to 15. The total is 23. 2 times 3, 2 plus 3 is 5 and 6, and back to your 11, creation of the BC world, bringing these two realities together. The A and I, well, that's a basic. What happens in A and I? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can move these numbers around, you know. You know, we can move these numbers around. Four, 8, 3, right? We can move them around. You notice we have 7 and 6 equals to 13. We have 4 and 9 equals to 13. We have the 1 and 3 equals to 4, but it's still that 13. And we have 8 and 5, 13. The total of this star is 39 plus 4. Where do I get this from? I change this into this by doing a simple math trick of multiplying it by 4 and adding it up to a single digit. So we're going to connect this. We have 1 and 8 equals to 9. We have 2 and 7 equals to 9. We have 4 and 5 equals to 9. We have 3 and 6 equals to 9. We didn't use the 9 to create itself. Now, when we do that, the 1 and the 8, we're going to take a little look at something. If I have 1, 1, 1 equals to 3. If I have 8, 8, 8 equals to 24. 2 plus 4 equals to 6. What happened in these two situations, right? Oh, and I wanted to just tell you that ABC is your base and full formation comes in over here. So what happens over here? Okay, what happens? 8, 8. From 8, I went down to 6. I went down 2. From 1, okay, I went up 2. Down 2, up 2. So this is absolutely perfect. What about the next number? 2 and 7. So if I go 2, 2, 2 equals to 6, 7, 7, 7 equals to 21, 2 plus 1 equals to 3. So what happened? 2 went up to 6, 4, 7 went down to 3, 4. So it's absolutely perfect. The cube is absolutely perfect.
Now we're going to go to the opposite side, right? Here we're going to connect 3 and 8, 11. Next we're going to go 2 and 9 equals to 11. Then we're going to go 5 and 6 equals to 11. And then 7, 4 equals to 11. Now, if you take a good look, right, when we created the 9, we did this. When we created the 11, we did this. See the way the I comes out because I didn't get to use that spot? In the 11, I never used the 1. In the 9, right, I never used a 9. There's your 911 connecting two systems together. Let me see where else I'm going to be going with this. So this is your system of your A, B, C, D. So you always need 3, and then the fourth one changes the whole schematics of things. I want to go back to 80, right? With 80, in French, you're going to go 4 times 20 to equal to 80. Now, what does this tell me? Well, if I'm doing multiplication, I have to do addition. 4 plus 20 equals 24. When I add up the total of the two of them, it's 104, or how about 10-4, which is communication Roger Rabbit. So now they're telling me the rabbit ears on the CB codes. The CB codes noted to be 2 and 3, where A, B, C, and B, C, D come together from A and D. A is in this one, D is in this one, B and C brings them together. 5 and 1, and 5 and 4, 69. 6 and 9 in rotation, 6 in rotation of 9. There's your 9. There's your 6. It becomes the percentage sign of 8, located on the 5 key, H and E. Now, if we want to just do a little bit of artwork, then we can possibly do this. And you notice when you do this, I only need to create 6, right? My hexagon. When I create the fourth line, right, I'm going to lock it in. When I create the hexagon, I get Jack, 6, and 6. When I create the octagon, okay, I get Queen, 8, and 8. Why do I get this? Where does this come from? In the deck of cards, whoop, for some reason something's happening here. So are we still here, right? Is anybody still here? Yeah, we're still. We've detected. I don't know. There could be inactivity when all these buttons and people are joining. No one's saying anything. And then what does this mean? Oh, people pop in and then pop out, right? You're just popping in and popping out. You want to understand those bricks on the wall? It actually says high Q at the gateway. High Q at the gateway. The divided gates. So why do we get this over here? What's happening? Well, the queen has 8 and 8 eyes. The jack has 6 and 6 eyes. And the number 24, which is the cat, or if you want to go, we'll talk about the rabbit. Right? The cat is 24 and the rabbit is 52. They're both going to be creating a different kind of explanation to a gateway. The reason for that is 5 times 2, 5 plus 2 is 10 and 7 equals to 17. 10 minus 7 equals to 0.3. This is going to be bronze. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 8 and 6 equals to 14. And it's going to equal to 0.2 to the minus side. Right? And this one is going to be silver. So now what you have is you have 2 and 3 coming together to the cat and the rabbit in the Chinese zodiac. They keep flipping that around. Born into the IT system of Ra. So what's happening over here and why did I do it this way?
In French, they say 80 as 4 times 20. They say 17 as 10 and 7. They say 18 as 10 and 8. They say 19 as 10 and 9. So I don't know, as a child of the Creator, I don't know if it's 10 minus 9 equaling to 1a. I don't know if it's 10 minus 8 equaling to 2b. I don't know if it's 10 minus 7 equaling to 3c. So at the same time, I don't know this, so I have on this level my ABC into the teens. I like to use the French and the English language to tell me an alternative story of what's going on. And also, I mean, I'm just going to jump around a little bit. Why do I add on S or ES at the end of a word for plural? Well, it seems like when the letter is an S at the end of a word, if you want to say something like blessed, right? Or not blessed, blesses, you add on ES. And if you notice, the S has the E sound before the S. The N letter is EN sound. The M letter is the soft E with M. The F is a soft E with F. So if you go back down right at the beginning, F is the first soft E that we have. It's E before F. And when you have a letter lesser than before a higher letter, according to Roman numerals, it's going to say less than that number, saying that 5 minus 6 equals to 1. So the 5 minus 6 equals to 1. It just so happens that the 6 and the 1 are on opposite sides of each other. This is where the monkey comes in. I'm all over the place, right? 8 and 3 missing, according to this. The word monkey is 8 and 3. 3 and 8 is gold. Gold meaning 1, meaning the heart of the circumference is going to be the monkey. Number 22 is ape. Number 22 says go. Number 22 is number 49, the fourth finger for Mars, the marriage finger, Mars, marriage, Marseille, Paris. The ninth finger for the birth. It's also the seventh finger, and the 12th finger, and the 17th finger, and the 19th finger, using your fingers and toes. This is where the stories come from. 8 and 3, 11 and 22 will create those numbers. Where do I get this? Around the ring is going to be 14. But there are 36 areas. 14 minus 36 equals 22. The pole is 18 areas. You only see 7. 7 minus 18 is 11. You have 11 and 22 equaling to your 33. This cube has 33 voided area spaces and 21 dots. 21, 2 and 1 is 3, and 33 is 6. 3 and 6, your 360 degrees of creation. 3 times 6, 3 plus 6 will equal to 18 and 9. And when you do that, right, 3 times 6, 3 plus 6, equaling to 9 and 18, they are the reverse alphabet of each other. And the 9 to one side, 18 to two sides. 9 and 18 equal 27, and that is the word B-E-T, bet. Born into the bee house, like the bee hive. I don't remember what the numeric value for hive is. 1739 is 44. Very good. 44 is the separation, okay, of the day and the night, and that's going to be on ice. Let me show you. Hive equals to 44. 8, 22, 9, and 5. The I and E are used in examples, the 5th and the 9th letter inside of it. The 22nd letter is for the heavens. It's V, right? V in French is for life. I and E is used for example, and the 5 and 9, right? Or how about EI, EIO, Einstein, 1776? What happens is 3 and 6, 5 and 4.
3 and 6 and 5 and 4 is where 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, and 9 comes about. Where does this come from? If we have 6, I have 3 missing. If I have 5, right, I got 4 missing. I got 4 with 5 missing, and I got 5 with 4 missing. That's where I get this. Now, what we have is 3 and 6. If I have 5 and 4, I'm going to have what is 3 and 2. If I have 6 and 3, I'm going to have 1 and 4. This is where your 13 comes in. Your 9 birth into the E world brings in your 13, which is going to be also the letter B. See this, the way this is 5 and 5? Now, to show you that, they've already designed it, they've already designed it over here. This area here is the 14th area, 1 and 4, 5. This area is the 23rd area, 2 and 3, 5. In between is 111, or 3 by 37 to equal 111 in this area over here. Hey, Ken, what's up? If you're still here. Seems like a lot of people join, a lot of people disappear, right? We have detected inactivity during your log. What is that about? I don't know. Okay, so we see that over here. That's what's happening over here. So we see that this is telling a story. It's telling the true story. 3 and 6, another movement of 3 and 6. If I went 6, 6, 6 equals to 18. 1 plus 8 equals to 9. And I go, hold on a second, 3, 3, 3 equals to 9. Now the difference between, just let me see if I got this right. Not really sure why this. Just give me a second. I'm just lost my place for a minute. For some reason, it seems to be working to the minus side. 9 plus 3 equals to 12. 1 plus 2 equals to 3. 9 plus 6 equals to 15. 1 plus 5 equals to 6. It comes back to itself at the end. That's not exactly what I wanted to mention about. I'm just trying to see over here. Here's your 13. Okay, silver matrix, number 85. 13, what is 13 and what is 7? We're going to do this. Now watch this. 1 and 6 is 7. 3 and 4 is 7. 5 and 2 is 7. What is the invert? 7 and 6 is 13. 4 and 9 is 13. 8 and 5 is 13. 13, 13, 13 is 39, representing the angel. It's also going to represent the numbers 5 and 6. The reason for that is there's 39 outs. 21 and 18. 39 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning, which means you played 6.5 innings. That's where this 6.5 comes in. I like to say that there's angels in the outfield. The number 39 fits in with angel. The number 93 fits in with Saturn. Now what's 93? Well, instead of 13, we now have 31, 31, 31 equals to 93. Now what happens if we rotate it? 13 and 31 and 13, or 31 and 13 and 31 equals to 75 equals to 57. And this here says electric moon. The feminine and the masculine of the electric moon. Now the funny thing about this, I go online, right? All right, yeah, I'm going to go online and I'm going to look up this. Orphan roulette. Now, so I go over here to Orphan Roulette, go to Images, over here, and you're going to go to this one over here. Whoop, it's showing up with something over here. Hold on a second. When you go to over here, you're going to see it says Orphan and Orphan. When you add up 17, 34, and 6 is 57. When you add up 120, 14, 31, and 9, it's 75, becomes 57, 75. You can find this all over the world in this roulette, right over here. It even shows you the racetrack over here for orphelins. Between the two sections, you notice it's the number 8. 8 is a special number. I like 8. 8 is a special number. Why is it a special number to me? When you say 81 in French, you say 81. When you say 21 or 31 or 41 or 51 or 61, and it stops at 61, there is no other. But you say 60, 60, et un. When you say 81, you do not say et un. You go right to the 1. It's just 81. But it's said as 4 times 21. So when you say 4 times 21, that equals to 84. It doesn't equal to 80. But the expression, okay, equals to 84. Representation of our circumference planet to the entire solar system is number 84 in the Kuiper Belt, and it is planet Pluto. And it works in sections of what I believe is thirds. The reason for that is the 8 and the 4 are 1/3 and 2/3 of the total of 12. That is how it works. The Kuiper Belt, where Pluto is all around, covers in all the planets. And when it moves out and it moves in, it moves out of the system and into the system, right? Remember, we need a thickness. You might see this, an area, but me, I'm not like this. I'm like this. 1 and 0, 1 and 0, right? I'm like this, on and off. Like this, I'm one way, but I'm like this. I got a dimension to me, right? So if the 1 dot is over here in the center, I need this side and I need that side, as I need above and I need below. So I'm going to go with this. The center of who I am, my left and my right, above and below, the letter N. ADN DNA. And this is described right here. ABC6, the 6th day we came into life with animal. Man, M-A-N, and Ani, A-N-I, bringing two systems together. We are part of that, what, if you want to call it, fleshy robotics of the artificial intelligence. I don't think you can get any better than who we are. If you make us faster in one area, you make us slower in another area. You don't use a tire, okay, as the motor. The tire, it's all pieces and parts to build a car. You need for the transition, you need the transmission. And then for another transition, you need the differential. So you need all the pieces and parts, just like Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube has a universal joint. And in the universal joint, it controls, right, all 6 sides. It's connected to 6 sides. The center of Rubik's Cube, the 27th area, 2 and 7, 9, controls 6 sides. Again, showing you how 6 and 9 rotate and work with each other. Around this way, and around this way is going to give you 18 cubes. There's going to be 18 high to the center in control, and the 8 corners on the outside. It's going to be 18 and 8, 26 game, 26 card. Dog is 26, and if it's a dog leg, or if it's a hook, if it's a dog leg to the left, is it a dog leg to the left? If it's a dog leg to the left, the dog represents, as I understand, the soul. Okay, number 26. Reverse it as God. Now, it could be odd, not Adam or Eve. Eve is even, right? God is odd, Eve is even. So when we have the opposite way, we go to the right. Now, my question is, when I hold this up, which is left and which is right? So we're not going to get into that right now, but I can tell you that when you go left, then you don't go right. As described to us on the news,
They say the rights are the Republicans, the blues are the Democrats. So they go blue for boy, and right red, I'm going to have to say the devil, I'm going to have to say the octagon, and I'm going to have to say you put it in your trunk because the red lights are where the trunk is on the back of your car, and we need the elephant to put out that fire because the elephant also has a trunk. And when I know there's an elephant, I'm going to have to watch out there's nothing squeaky, and that squeaky would be with the mouse. And then the spirit comes in, and that spirit gets red hot, and that would be with the cat. Or the rabbit because of the communication and the zodiac sign showing up as the fourth zodiac sign and completing your ABCD basic creation. And when you finish with D, 1, 2, 3, 4 equaling to 10, that's where the J comes in. And the J represents that hook because within the J is that hook. That is our basic I creation. And also to note that the letter J also has a dot on top, just like the I letter. I'm going to take a 2-minute break. Going to get a glass of water in the kitchen. And if there's any questions, don't hesitate. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to teach a little bit of everything. I just showed you orphan roulette. I showed you the electric moon. Why is it the electric moon? Why is it electric company? If you want to go to Monopoly and you have electric company and you got waterworks, then you have both properties and it's 10 times the roll. What is it if you only have one property? Every single thing that I do will have a link in a game or not. Before I go for my short little 2-minute or 3-minute break, Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa. Let me write this down. Let me show you. Mona Lisa. Limo. NASA's limo. There's your Mona Lisa. Your NA and your SA. I like to think of this as your DNA to your spirit angel or your soul. Your birth into this reflective world, 444. Or how about 4 times 444 for 1776? Or how about 222, as we spoke before, right? 5G 222 times 8. Your 4 and your 8, your 1/3 and your 2/3. The 2/3 will represent what is the female or the feminine. The 1/3 is going to create the pole or the masculine. And this will also be 1776. And if you want to know a little bit about this, I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Now, I've skipped over a bunch of stuff in and out. I also want to explain this, which is also going to explain this and darts and the game of pool. So give me a minute. If you want, I can set you up either looking at up there or looking at the wall or something, but just give me a minute. I'm just going to warm up some water, and don't hesitate to ask me anything, because I believe that if we can tell the story with this numerology, and I would love that if I can get in contact with GG33. I think we'd make a good pair on understanding and being able to show the people that it's not only the analytics from the zodiac, where 3 is communication or criminal and 4 is law and order, and sometimes it's right and sometimes it's wrong, but where do the numbers come from? How can I recreate these numbers? How can I mathematically recreate something and then have a story that comes from a game like hockey, which is 3 times 120, or football, which is 4 times 90, or basketball, which is 12 minutes to the 12-minute ruler, so that the only reason we needed the 15 minutes is because we add on to the next ruler, and that we need 3 rulers of 12 inches to create that yard. And then we need 10 yards, right, in 4 downs to create a first down, or in 3 downs for the CFL, the difference in the CFL versus the NFL.
the scoring, the amount of people that are on the fields. It's number 11 that will create 12. 11, 1 times 1, 1 plus 1 is 1 and 2, and that's your 12. Now, I'm going to get back to you. Give me a minute. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to cut and paste, but if you'd like to help me out on this channel, just let me go ahead, and I just want to see something over here, see if I can add this in there. Usually I'm not allowed to put this in there. Just give me 1 second. I want to share my page. No, but if you want to buy me a coffee or something to help to support this channel, that'd be much incredibly appreciated. I've been here for 20 years. I've been here for 20 years doing this. So we're going to go on to 2015. The year 5775 Hebrew time, right, is the 15th year after the year 2000. So what happens over here, right, is that when this cube is up, when you have the 1 up, you will have 14 around the band, okay? When you have the 1 up, you will have 1 and 14. So you will have 1 up. You will have 1 and 14 equals to 15, and the 6 is down. When you have the 6 up and 14 equals to 20, the 1 will be down. There are 15 balls in pool. There are 20 balls in darts. When you add up 1 through 15, it equals to 120. When you add up 1 through 20, it equals to 210. So we are playing in between these numbers over here. What is this? It just so happens it's 2121, right? 1221 if you want to look at it that way. At the same time, you're going to see the moon diameter is 2160. I like to replace my O's for 6's. All my O's are replaced with 6's. One of the reasons, I don't have all the reasons, okay, I don't remember them, okay, but the letter O equals to the 15th letter. 1 plus 5 equals to 6. There were a few other reasons, I don't remember what they are, but if I put it to 9, everything comes back to 6 again. Now here's one of the things. 6 plus 9 equals to 15 equals to 6. But 6 plus 6 equals to 3, and now I show a full reduction. 3, 6, 9 are not like the other numbers. They're not. Now we're going to get back to 5775, right? And if I had 5775, right? Remember the orphans here? 13 moons equals 75,075. Isn't that crazy? Right? Which also represents Earth and Mars. It also represents the electric moon. And it represents the electric moon, not only that, the feminine and the masculine, for the reason, just give me a second, that 75% is what is 3/4. 75%, I got 3/4 of 75 of 100. 100 will represent C. It's a Roman numeral. D is represented by 500. M is represented by 1000. L is represented by 50. X is represented by 10, V represented by 5, and I represented by 1. 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, and in between is 4, 3, 2 on one side and 9, 8, 7, and 6 on the top side. When you're counting down and when you're, sorry, this is wrong. It's 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But this is, what can I call this? This is a stepping stone. It's a core. It's the heart. The 1, 5, and 9 is a crossing heart when you put it into a dimension. A, E, and I. 336 and 15 equals 351. What is this? When I count 1 through Z, it equals to 351. When I take away the 1, 5, and 9, I get 336, or I get 84 times 4 equals to 336. This is going to be what is 3 times 28, equaling to 84, or 4 times 21, equaling to 84. We have to understand what 3 and 4, because this is the E world we are in. These two numbers are 0.5 away from the core of this cube of 3.5 times 3 equaling to 105, and you show me something that's being sold with this number on it. I just want to do one little checkup over here. It says I could goal, alert, camera, display capture. I just want to see something. They said I can send something out to track more people. But anyways, I don't have time for that right now. I don't want to lose myself. This number over here, 336, is 12 moons passing. 12 moons passing at 28 days is 336 days. If I count 1 through 12, it equals to 78. 78 is a 1 times 7 equals to 7. 1 plus 7 equals to 8. This will be representing the king and the queen. The mathematics is in Q, 17. 17 is going to connect to Mars, which is 51, which is 3 times 17, because our base formation is times 3. That's our base formation. It's the king and the queen. The king has 7 and 7 eyes. It just so happens that matter is 77 and power is 77, and there's a few more 77s, right? I don't remember what they all are. And how about this word over here is 77? Yeah, you saw it right. That's the word. Did you know that if I add that one with this one, Jesus and Christ, 74, it equals to 151, which is the Mars creation on Earth, the Mars portals. And also at the same time, it would be this. And when you see this over here, right, when you see 1v1, you're going to be talking about 1,000. The 1v1, when it's put together as the letter M, it's the 13th letter. The 13th letter, when 13 is put together, it looks like B. So now you're talking about Venus. When you're talking about Venus, which Venus is the second planet, and you look at it this way, and there's other ways to look at it, okay, but off the cube, you have Venus here, and then all of a sudden you have a double Venus here. So when you have the double Venus, right, one that's this way and one that's this way, one they call the grave. How about the engrave? Engrave DNA. And the other one is aigu. Born your AI through the gateway of the cat. 24. 2 times 4, 2 plus 4 is 8 and 6. 6 will revert into 9 and 9 reverts into 5. How do I do all this? If you take a look, right, at the deck of cards, this will be the number 5. Now, if you take a look at the deck of cards, it'll also be the 9. The 5 and 9 play into each other on the cube, and they're both valued at 42, which is 8 and 6. 8 and 6. It is inside the Venus world, right, at the 7th gate of Venus. Why is the 7th gate of Venus? I'm missing 7 numbers in Venus over here. When I go over to Mars, right, when I go over to Mars over here, I'm missing 5. So I'm missing with the 2, okay, I'm missing 7 void, right? And with the 4, I'm missing 5 void. And with those 2 missing, I end up with my, what is 57 and 75. And this is where the electric moon comes in. So when we're referring to Venus as double Venus, we're now going to start talking about the 23rd letter and the 22nd letter and the 21st letter. 21, 22, 23 in Chaldean are all valued at 6, and here it's valued at 3, 4, and 5 for the double because we use it twice. Now you see the way here we can't tell which way it is, but if I showed you this, right, you would automatically know the 1 or the 6 is up, right? The 1 or the 6 is up, right? But at the minute the 3 and 4 go up, the 2 goes the other way. So I know exactly what's going on. I know this is 18, supposed to be luck. I know this is 15. I know it's talking about Mars. I don't know what the end result is. I'm only 20 years into this, but I can't tell you the stories that come. I do know that 4 and 1 says home and king. So if it's home and king, home and king, I know that when it gets to the bottom of the 7th, the home team coming up the plate, there's only 18 outs. And that's the letter R in the 7th inning. At the gateway, there's 18 outs. Chai, the one spirit in the heavens of 8. I also know if it's the home team. If the home team is leading into the 9th, there will be no 9th for the home team. The game will end, and the number of outs will be 54 outs for the road team, which means the home team got them out 9 times, 3 for... Well, why do I keep making that mistake? Sorry. There will be 27 outs for the road team, and there will be 24 outs for the home team. The total is 51. 24 is for the division at the 7th gate, and 27 is inside the house of bait. Win a big red sun. That's what it's going to say. If the game ends and the road team wins in regulation time, there will be a total of 54 outs, and that will be the numeric value for the word sun, or 3 times 18 chai. Unlike the home team winning 3 times 17, 51 outs, and that will be Mars, 51 outs or 54 outs. If it goes into extra innings, then that's a different story to tell. And if it goes into extra innings, we have to understand that in French, they say manche for innings. And 9 innings tells me, right, although it's 9 innings each, right, it tells me it's 4.5 people. Because every manche is an arm. And if I have 9 innings, I have 9 arms, and there's usually 10. Sorry, there's usually, if there's 9 innings, right, it's 4.5 arms, and there's nobody born in the blueprints. There's nobody born without an arm, right? Unless you're creating in a machine, and the only place that there can be anything of one, that's in the center of all. So let's go back to this one over here, 8 and 6, right? Now, since we're born noted to be what is our creation as 5 and 6 is our noted creation, unlike the 7 and 4, which is equal to this, or the 3 and 8 is equal to this, or the 2 and 9, okay? I like to call this the IT system birth. Born with the ring. 2 times 9, 18. 2 plus 9, 11. This will be the R, and this will be the A. It'll also be noted that the H will also be inside of this. Now, when you do K and H is going to be inside of this. These letters, now, I know in a different part of the world, they combinate these letters here. Now, we're only going to use 3 of 4. After that, it becomes mirrored. So you can have HAR, RAH, RAK, rack, AKH. I'm not sure if we can put those 3 together. No, didn't want to use A. A is a supplementary coming out of here. 10 and 8, right? B is also going to come into this. Anyways, I got too far into this. I just wanted to mention it's the IT system. 5 times 4 equals to 20T. 5 plus 4 equals to 09I. I call it the IT system. Here's another number, 29, right? How do I get to number 29? This is the way, through the sun and the word fox. These are 2 words that match up with this and this. 6 sides of 9 equals to 54. So that's where I get the sun. I get the fox. The fox is 666, or the 6th letter F, the 15th letter O, or the 24th letter X. The total between X and O is 39 plus 6. 6 is a formation. What is the formation of 6? It's 1 and 5, 6. It's 2 and 4, 6. It's 3 and 3, 6. It's 9 and 6, 15. 1 and 5, 6. It's 8 and 7, 15. 1 and 5, 6. And this is the way we get to number 6. At the gateway, in the rotation, at the 7th gate. And again, this is what creates that rotation of 3 and 3. Offense, defense, playing against another one's offense and defense. Remember, there are 2 bronze teams. Why? Because both the silver and the gold beat a team that didn't make it to the finals, and that would be the bronze. You don't know if it was this team or that team, but they each one beat a team, and both those teams end up in the bronze position. Inside of your ABC, like I said, your basic creation is your ABC 1, 2, 3. But hold on, your full creation is ABCD. But your base creation is ABC before you mirror. And this is where 6 comes in, right? Your ABCD is where 10 comes in. Once you add D, 1 plus 0 equals to 1. So you start over again. I'm just trying to see, there was something I wanted to explain in here. I wanted to see where I was. Your B and your C come together, where the A and the D are separated, where you have BCD. So you have the BCD and the ABC. This one is 9, that is 6. 3 times 3, 3 plus 3 is what creates these 2 systems coming together. Here is what the earth vibration is. And like we spoke, or the earth healing, and as I spoke 2 minutes ago, that healing becomes in between 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. And that's where your Roman numerals set in. And your Roman numerals are 1666. Why is it 1666? 1000, 1500, 1666. When you divide 5 by 3, it equals to 1.666. The 1666 is right over here. I don't care if it's 16,000 or 166 million. It doesn't matter. It's the bottom line is where the result lies. So where was I? Where do I have to jump? The 336 on the 12 moons. With the 13 moons, we can get on to the, we stopped on the 12 moons over here. We spoke of why the W and the U and the V all belong to Venus right over here. And the total over here is 66. Now that thing about 66 is this is what's happening at 66 towards the seventh gate. 1, 3, 5, 7, all odd numbers. The 7 goes between two sides, unlike 6 and 8. Remember that. The 6, 7, and 8 in the deck of cards are done like this. In the 7, you'll get 1 here. In the 8, you'll end up with the 2. The total is 21. You play in the heavens of the seventh gate. You play in the heavens of the seventh gate because you're bringing two worlds together to only live in one world. And you have nothing until you're born. Your 9 birth brings you into this 8 heaven. The 8 and the 9 are not the same, right? The 8 and the 9 are not the same. Here's the 8. With the 9, it's not the same. Here's what the 9 looks like. Here's what the 8 looks like. Now, if you want to count the rest of the cards in the deck, we don't need the ace because the ace goes over here. You see the way I told you the ace divides the two sides? The sun says ace. 1, 3, 5 counted to a single digit. If I want to reverse it, it's going to be 81 touching onto Venus. So what's going to be missing over here is going to be 27. That's the house of Bet. BET equals to 27 and 360 degrees. Your Celsius and your Fahrenheit, your creation of man 6. 18 and 9. Don't forget 18 and 9. Your 9 plays a role right over here. The diameter, when building, you only use the diameter, your 7.3 or 9.1 when you're building. Although there's another reality happening in here, okay? And if I wanted to go to roulette betting, I put a chip here, I get 8. 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 4 by 8 is 32. Plus the 4 chips is 36. If I put a chip between these two, or these two, or these two, or these two, those are 17. 17 and 17 and 17 and 17. That's 68. Your 68 of what divides the 7th gate, and it's right over here in the 5 key. That 5 key is going to represent energy. If you wanted to go with this one, you'll be supplying power along with matter. Now, where does this come from? Well, it comes from the 5th house. 5, 14, 23, and let's close it off at 32. And if you notice, when we're closing it off on RD for third and ND for second. We're mentioning 32nd, 23rd. So we have to understand that too. But I'm going to jump over and explain something else. Is that when things start to change around, right, at A first, or B second, or C third, it all turns around when we come up to fourth. And fourth lasts all the way to 20th. Tie TH. For the example world of the E world born into the E world of T20, right, or 20 of this cube, which is made up of 20 and 14, equaling to 34 when all of these holes are drilled. Sorry, equals to 34. To note that 64, 24, and 10 equals to what is 34. 6 times 4, 6 plus 4, which noted is going to be the half-life, because 6, we don't need these two in there. I only need the 4 in there and the 1 to connect it all, and that's your 7th gate. So we're going to get a TD or number 24 or an 80 or 84. 80 slashes into 84 as the expression of 420 in French sounds like this instead of being this. The half-life is at 86. 4 is located inside the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and the expression card of 10. The 4 corners in the deck of cards, right? On the 5, if it was on the 6, then it would be like that. And this is where the 4 is located. So if I have the deck of cards, I don't need the ace. Okay? I don't need the 3. The 4 is in just about every single card, so I don't need the 4. I don't need the 5 because the 5 is in the 9, right? I don't need the 6 or 7 because that's going to be found in the 8, right? And here you're going to find it in 3, 5, and 9. The 3, right, is only the ace will be found inside of this one, but I used the 2. I need to save the 2, right? Now you have the 8, right? I'm going to mark down the 8. There's no other card like the 8. And the 8 has inside of it the 6 and 7. So 8 has inside of it the 6 and 7. And there's no other card like the 9. And the 9 swallows the 5, and we have the 9. So we have the 2, the 8, and the 9, and then everything else, 1 and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6, and 7 go over here. So this one over here equals to 19, bringing two systems together, 19 and 144. And this one over here is going to equal to 26, 26 and 19. 4, 8, 13, and 6 is 19, and 7 is 26. In this one here, what I don't need is I don't need the ace, right? And do I need the 3? I still need the 3. I don't need the 4 because these will be accounted for. So I'll have 3, 5, and 7 inside of this. I'll have my 357 inside of this, equaling to 15. And then I'm going to have the leftover of 1 and 4 and 6 equals to what is 11. And the total of that will be 45. The reason for that is what doubles up and what we need to separate. It just so happens that this says that. Just so happens that this is the electric moon in creation. 35 is a cap to what is 5775. And I'm going to explain that cap. 5 and 5 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 7, 3 is 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. What do I need this for? I need it for my circumference. Whether I'm going to do it this way, I haven't decided, or this way. I need the circumference to the center, so I measure with 1. And in fact, our system, okay, that we're running right now is based on this over here. We have a system, okay, that takes, I believe, 60 years before it turns over. 5 elements, 12 zodiac signs, 5 by 12, 60. So we have 1 month, which has 28 days. We do that 3 times, equals to 84. We have 4 months, which equals to 30 days, right? We do that 12 times, which equals to 360. And then we have 7 months of 31 days, right? And we do that 21 times. If I got that right. Twelve, 9, 3, 3, 9. Now, what is this? Let me explain it to you. There are 7 months of 31 days. There are 4 months of 30 days. There's 1 month of 28 days. It happens for a 3-part cycle. Everything stops. It's 1, 2, 3, and it stops. Even the cube. I can show you 1, 2, and 3, and at 4, it's the opposite side. I can show you A, B, C equaling to 6, and once I add 4 equaling to 10, I start over again. And there's other realities that show up like this. I think there's 1 or 2 more that I found. Sorry I can't share it with you. I don't remember. I can't remember everything. Sorry about that. No need to be sorry. So what happens with this is we need to run the system 7, 4, and 1. So when we run that system 7, 4, and I'm going to get back to the TH, right? Like the T, right? Or ET, and the H. What happens if I put it together, right? What happens if I put it together? Would I be teaching? So we have the 1, 4, 7 that we run by. But 1, okay, is also 10. 4 is also 13. 7 is also 16. or 61, 31, and while you can't go to 0, 1, there is no reverse with this one over here. Now, how do you get to 10? You notice 1 plus 0 is 1, 3 plus 1 is 4, 6 and 1 is 7. So this is what I have to do. If I have, let's say, give me any number. Let's say I have 15, right? Let's work on 6 and 8. See Earth and Mars right over here, right? We're going to work on 6 and 8. So this is what we're working at. If I have 1 and 5 and 6 and 2, and I'm not just pulling it out of my hat. If I have 1 and 5, right, then I'm going to have 6 and 2. Now, what's going to happen over here is I'm going to have to go 1 and 3, 1 and 4, 1 and 6, 1 and 9 equals to 4, equals to 7, equals to 10. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. I returned back to 147. Now we're going to go to 5. 5 and 8 equals to 13. 5 and 2 equals to 7. 5 and 5 equals to 10. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. 1 plus 0 equals to 1. But there's another dimension to this. I can go 5 minus 1 equals to 4. And I can go 5 minus 4 equals to 1. And this is going to tell me an alternative story. In this story, this is going to tell me about Earth. This is a sky pass. This is going to tell me about Mars, and 1 is to the negative side. When we start counting, 1 is to the negative side, right? Although they say 1 is to the center, 1 is also to the negative side. I have to, be able to say that, explain this a little bit better. Sometimes I don't explain it well enough, and it gets, misunderstood. This is where hockey comes in. Hockey comes where the Rubik's Cube comes in. Rubik's Cube comes in when the Kaaba comes in, or Kaaba. And when that comes in, the sun comes in, right? Sun will come out tomorrow. And this is because it has 3 opposite sides, and we have 3 periods in the hockey game, right? And this will represent 120 degrees to equal to 360 degrees. But there are 4 sides, 360 degrees, and how many times we can turn this dice, right? Equaling to what is times 4, equaling to 360, right? I'm not really sure what the combination is, but this is wrong. It's 1440. There's 1440 minutes in a day, or 4 times 360. If we do it this way, right, we have 12 periods. If we do it for 4 would be times 90, equaling to 360, times 4 equaling to the 1440 in a day. So if we did it that way, we're going to need, I think it's 16, right? Is it 16 times 90 equals to 1440? So here it was 12, here it was 16, and it's going to represent purple. Purple is going to represent 4 and 12, which is going to be 4 and 3. 1 and 2 equals to 3. It's going to be representing Earth and Mars. It's going to be representing the red and the blue. If you want to look at that as blueberries, if you want to look on the cars, on top of the cars, this is also going to be purple. Purple is 88. It's at the 7th gate of perhaps the 3rd ring, or we're not going to talk about 3 cubes now. I want to go see if my water warmed up. I want to take a 2-minute break. I'd appreciate if there were a few more questions, because right now we're running on, I'm not sure who's here. Fit Kit Kat, Seth, Philip, Jason said hi, or say hi to Jason. I love you, Join, Yars, Jennifer, Backfire, Power. So I'm not sure who's really here, who's not here. I was told that there are many bots that show up. It shows 2 live people, real-time viewer count. Okay. Hey, Benji, Zach, Snap, Cass. It shows you're here. Don't hesitate to ask me any questions. Hey, it's 151. 151 is 111. Wow. Also representing Mars. Did you know that every 71 minutes,
is going to be 1 hour and 11 minutes. So if you see 111 on the clock, that's 71 minutes. So you're at a gateway, and you're in the reverse gateway to Mars, because Mars would be 17, 17, 17 for 51. The next 17 would be 68, representing July and the separation of that 68 gate, in which, if you go to these dice, the odds in North America on these dice on 6 and 8, they call them the big 6 and the big 8. And it's just ironic that Venus, 2 times 7, 2 plus 7, okay, will equal to what will be the word big. 2B, 7G, 2 and 7 equals to 9I, big. The odds, or the payout, is you place 6 down and you get back 7 plus the 6 if the number comes up for the total of 13. 1 times 3, 1 plus 3 will equal to Earth and Mars, or the third and the fourth planet. That is what is going to be 0.5 away from the center of this cube. It's 0.5, it's 1.5, and it's 2.5 to the center of this cube. The 1.5, let me go back. I'm just going to, let me do that. 3 plus 0.5 equals to 3.5, and 4 minus 0.5 equals to 3.5. So there's a chance when you have two letters of E and E, either you're talking about Venus because Venus is doubling up on everything, or you're going to be talking about the minus and the plus of E. And if you're minusing E and you're adding E, one of the questions would be, would you be using the letter F? Would you be using the letter L, or M, or N, or S, or X? Because all these letters have the E sound soft before it, other than using B. Did you know that after A, you say B, right? Already initiating the B into the world immediately after saying A. And in the A house, okay, is H. And the H, the eighth letter, is not like anything else. Did you know that once you get in French, once you get to 69 in French, it's done. It's over. After that, you start repeating. When you say 70, you say 60 and 10. When you say 77, you're going to say 60 and 10, 7. When you say 78, you're going to say 60 and 10, 8. When you say 79, you're going to say 60 and 10, 9. You're going to be representing Mars, the Sun, and the Moon. Where does Earth show up? Earth shows up at 5885 into the matrix, into the silver matrix. It shows up in Venus. The reason for that is I need to bring my numbers back to where the basics are. Now, why would I say it's this? Well, the 7 months, the 4 months, and the 1 month also conclude that when you bring it to level 2, it becomes 2 times 1. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 7 is 14. 1 and 4 is 5. Bring it to the third level. 3 times 1, 3. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 and 2 is 3. 3 times 7 is 21. 2 and 1 is 3. You want to bring it to 6? 6 times 1, 6. 6 times 4, 24. 2 and 4, 6. 6 times 7, 42. 2 and 4, 6. You see the way 7 and 4 invert to 24 and 42? Splitting of the heavens of your birth through the seventh gate, the day of rest, leaving it to the rest of us. In the east, EST is both west and east when you're speaking within French and English. Note that EAST and WEST, not to note that we speak of north TH and south TH, that the world we live in right now expresses that from 4th all the way to 20th, you will be using TH in the word earth ending in TH, but if you take the H at the end of earth and you can write heart. And now we have the H and all the letters in between, the art and T in that word TH for teach, heaven, time, whichever way you want to go with that, right? So let me get my little drink in the kitchen. I'm going to come on back, and I would really like to have a little bit of input if you want to guide me a little bit different where you want me to go with everything. So you can see how we're going to go into the last dimension. Before I do that, we're going to go to 9. 9 times 1, 9. 9 times 4, 36. 9. 9 by 7, 63. 3 and 6, 9. 63, 36. Time. The beast. Energy. Jesus. Dividing the day and the night between 8 and 16 hours. The creation of the student, 77. Yo, 7 come 11. Earth and Mars come together. The Y has 3 points. 3 times 1, 20. Earth. The O has 4 areas in order to complete the O. 4 by 90, your birth. Also January. Also the 9th house. 9, 18, 27, 36. They create 3663, and it's just so funny that 9 times 74, and then 9 times 47. Try it out. I'll be back in a minute. I just want to check out something. I'm going to take 2 minutes. I need to check out. I was allowed to blank gameplay image. What's this? Add source. So I'm just looking for something, a goal and alert a camera. There was something that it was asking me to do before. I can't find out. For you, live? Okay, let's see what it is for you. Okay, I have no idea what that means. No, hold on a second. For you, what is this? What's showing up? Team members. Okay, live. I want to see what it does. Okay, what is this? Okay. Okay, we're going to leave it at this right now. If you have any questions, do not hesitate. I will explain to you what I do. Oh, just got a little bit of a tea. I hope it's still warm. Yeah, still warm. Okay, so like I said, let me show you how this works. Bringing everything back to formation. One. We'll go with 3, 6, and 9. 2. We'll go with 2, 5, 8, and to the -1, the minus. 3. We'll go with 1, 4, 7, and the -2. 1 and 2, alpha, beta. Would bring everything together, right? Remember that. 4 is going to go with 9 and 0 at the same time. It's going to go to 9, 3, and 6. And at the same time, -3. Your ABC. In reverse, your 4-3-2 vibration. This is where it begins. It doesn't begin at 1. It begins here. It begins in the house of Bait, where the one spirit plays the role at the 7th gate. Here is where alpha comes into the -1, comes in on the other side. And then we go to 5, and then with 5,
we're going to create what is, I just want to see if I got this right, 4, 4, 4, 9 and 4, okay, 4. Here we're going to go 8. Then we're going to go, I just want to see 7, 7, 7, 7, and then 2, and then over here 5, and then we're going to go to the negative 4. So when I go to the negative 4, I know my E world starts in Mars, right, where the complete system of A, B, C, D begins in J, right? Jack, Jesus, Johnny, John, right? Has anybody seen the word John? Take me to the John, and we're going to have this king over here in the month of Tishrei, what is noted to be the 7th zodiac, is where it begins. You notice that the first zodiac sign is the first zodiac, okay, begins in Passover. Pass is 55, and this is 23, 45, 55, and this is 57, Passover. They're talking about the male and the female and the moon. The 12 and the 13. Star math shows me this is 3 and 2 equaling to 5, and this one is 3 and 4 equaling to 7. Electric company starts right here. But this is ending, as the children are ending, the male and the female. Because once your birthday is done, when you're 1 year old, that year is gone. When you're 1 year old, that year is gone, done, over. So we end up with this and the bar mitzvah and the bat mitzvah, right? The bats mitzvah. So we end up with this zodiac sign over here. So now when we go to 6, right, what we're going to do is we're going to go to 7, 1, 4, minus 5. We only have 6 sides to the cube. After that, it's off the cube. So we can see that at the end, the last 2 that come together in your alpha beta creation, right, is your 5 and 6 and your 5 and 4, your 9, 11 comes together. And it's through this rotation over here. And if you want to take a look, where is your 9, 3, and 6? Now we're going to go to number 7. And then what we're going to do also in this one is there's a couple of pieces I skipped over. I'm going to do it after I do this one. When we come to number 7, I'm going to need 9, 0, because 0 doesn't move. So that 0 ends up to be 9, but your birth is in 6. So 9 gets converted into 6 in life. And the spirit or one of the elements are always in 9. The element of life or breath, I'm not really sure which part it is, our rotation of something. So, and then this one over here, oh, sorry, this one, sorry, this is right. We have to come to 4 with this one. Let me see if I did that right. It's 6, sorry. 6 and 7 is 13, 6 and 7 is 13, 5 and 8 is 13, 13. Okay, now this one is 7, so this is where 9 comes in. And then this one over here has to go to 1, so you're going to get 3 in here, and then it'll be the minus 6 over here. I forgot to mention that when you get to this one over here, right, since this is number 4, you minus 44. Then over here you minus 34. And then this one over here, you minus, hold on a second, here's 2. Did I get this right? Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I got to talk with this one here. Here you're creating 4, here you're creating 7, here you're creating 1. So when you're creating 7, right, this one's going to, when you're creating 7, I'm adding 4 to this. 4 and 3 is 7. When I'm creating 7, 5 and 2 is 7. When I'm creating 7, 6 and 1 is 7. I can't go down to 7. I can't go down to 7. Here, I can go down to 1. I made a few mistakes here. I think I'm going to do this over again. Just hold on a second. I want to just do this over. I don't like how messy it is. 1. We're going to do 1, 4, and 7. Okay? Which is the same thing as what is and what is 10, 13, and 16, right? So let's just take this out of the way. So here it is. Here's number 1. I don't know why it goes so far over. 1 plus 9 equals to 10. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. And 1 plus 6 equals to 7. Now we're going to go to 2. 2 plus 8 equals to 10. 2 plus 2 equals to 4. And 2 plus 5 equals to 7. Now 3. Right? And at the same time, we're going to have minus 1 over here. Minus 1, 2 minus 1 is 1. So these two are going to come together. Now, on the third one, right, you're going to have minus 2, and you're going to have plus 7. And that'll come together. And here you're going to have 1 plus 1. And then here you're going to have plus 6. Did I get that right? No? Whoa, I'm so going too fast. And it's messy. And I don't have any white out. I'm going to have to get some white out. It's a shame to throw out another page. It's ugly. Just let me do that one more time. Okay, let me do that again. 1, 4, 7 is like 10, 13, and 16 equals to 12 equals to 39. So this will be angel, 10 angel. So let's do that again. 1 plus 9 equals to 10. 1 plus 3 equals to 4. And 1 plus 6 equals to 7. Now we're going to go to 2. So it's going to be 2 minus 1 plus 8. Wow, I'm not even happy with this scenario, okay? Then the 4, right? It's going to be 2. And then the 7 is going to be 5. 5 and 2 is 7. 2 and 2 is 4. 1 and 8. 2 and 8 is 10 is 1. Now we'll go to 3. So we need 3 minus 2 plus 7. 3 plus 1. And 3 plus 4 equals to 7. Now we're going to go to 4, right? 4 minus 3, 4 plus 6, right, equals to what is 1. 4 and 9 is 13, right? And then 4 and 3 equals to 7. Now we're going to go to 5, and I still don't like what it looks like. Now we're going to go to 5, right? Now 5 minus 4, right? 5 plus 5, right, is going to equal to 1. Now 5 minus 1, 5 plus 8 is going to equal to 13. And then at the last one, 5 plus 2. Now we're going to go to number 6. 6 minus 5, right, 6 plus 4, okay, is going to equal to 1. 6 minus 2, 6 plus 7 is going to equal to 13, or minus will equal to 4. And the last one, it's 6 plus 1 equals to 7. Notice these 4 over here equaling to 10, right? That's your base formation in creation. It'll be 3 and 6. The AD and the BC coming together after the death before the Christ at the 7th day. 5 and 6 becomes of who you are. Now when we get to number 7, it's going to be, okay, number 7 will be minus 6 plus 3. Then number 4 will be minus 3 plus 6. And then it's going to be 9 or 0 at the 7th gate. When you get to number 8, it's going to be minus 7 plus 2. And then I'm going to go over them. It's going to be minus 4 plus 5. And then it's going to be minus 1 plus 8. Notice where we get into 3 worlds over here at 8, but nowhere before. Over here is because our birth, we bring the 2 worlds together, 6 and 7. Mars and Earth come together in Saturn and Uranus. Then when 9 comes in, it's going to be minus 8 and 1. It's going to be minus 5 and 4. And then it's going to be minus 2 and 7. Now let me explain it. 2 minus 1 is 1. 8 plus 2 is 10. 2 plus 2 is 4. 5 plus 2 is 7. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 plus 7 is 10. 3 plus 1 is 4. 3 plus 4 is 7. 4 plus minus 3 is 1. 4 plus 6 is 10. 4 and 9 is 13. 4 and 3 is 7. 5 minus 4 equals to 1, plus 5 equals to 10, minus 1 equals to 4, plus 8 equals to 13. And here we add on 2. In the sixth, over here, in the sixth realm, and now this is on the cube, right? 6 minus 5 is 1, plus 4 is 10, minus 2 is 4, plus 7 is 13, and 1. When we come to here, it's at the even point, at the 0. When it's at the 0, I think that's where 32 comes in, right? Something to do with the freezing point. I can look at these numbers also in Celsius and Fahrenheit on the periodic table in weights and measures, because every single dimension of life is going to tell me a story. If it tells me about 3, it'll talk about hockey. If it talks about 4, it's talking about the 4 quarters. If it talks about anything else, it could be rounds in soccer, or the 2 halves of soccer. It could be talking about boxing. I don't know right now. But I will also show you that the minus and the plus will all add up to 9. Every single one of them will be 9, and only over here does anything begin. 8 and 7 will be on your cube, will be alpha beta. This is your beginning. Your 8 and your 7 at the heaven's gate. That'll be 15. That 15 is part of the Mars system. Your 8 and your 9, when your 8 and your 9 come together, right? When your 8 and your 9 come together, it's 8. We're going to do this. It's 8 minus 1 to the 7th gate, and it's 9 minus 2 equals to 7. Now, when we do this, we also have to figure out that we need to get to number 4. So it's 8 plus 5, okay, equals to your 13 to get to your number 4. And it's 9 plus 4 equals to your 13 to get to your number 4. And when we get through your alpha beta creation, it takes these 2 numbers here. The H and the I are crossings of each other. I like to look at this one as you're sleeping and this one as you're awake. 5 and 4 also represents the sun system. Also represents Fox, Fox 45. When you add up 6 and 15 and 24, it equals to 45. 2 and 4, 6. 1 and 5, 6. 6 is 6. The invert to this on the cube is going to be 5 and 3, 8. 6 and 2, 8. And then I use 3 and 3 to be, 3 and 3 becomes 4 and 4, 8. Division of night and day, because it's 16 and 8 equaling to 24. And 2 times 4, 2 plus 4, is what creates your 8 and 6, equals to 14. You notice it's up 1 realm. 1 and 2 come together to create your creation of 38. This is where gold, this is where club comes in. How does this happen? Multiplication and addition, 8 and 6. These dice cubes, right? These dice cubes. Divided 8 and 6. Not me. Not me. Not me. I want to show you this one. So this is where electric company comes in, where we cap it off. I want to find the center here, so I must create a 10. 10 creates the center, right? Now, the question is, even if you want to know about number 1, which equals to 34, isn't it ironic that 1 equals to 34, the opposite is 6, right? And 6 equals to 52. There's your 86. And you know what's funny about that? 3 and 4 equals to 7, 5 and 2 equals to 7, and they're all 3 and 4 is 7, right? 3 and 4 is 7. And here's your 6 and 1, right, is 7. And then your 5 and 2. So now you have all your numbers that were created through here. Now we talked about 3, okay, plus 0.5 equals 3.5, right? Or 4 minus 0.5 equals to 3.5. If we did the 5 minus 1.5, 6 minus 2.5 equals to 3.5 equals to 3.5. The 25th letter is Y. Y has 3 points. 3 times 120 equals to 360. We're going to call this Y as Earth. We're going to call the O, having the 4 corners, as the 15th letter, right? Being the 15th letter and having the O for the 4 corners, it's 4 by 90 equals to the 360. You're coming into the E world, and it creates the 3 and 2 equaling to 5 for the feminine. 32 equals to Ram, right? It's also the first Chinese zodiac sign. No, it's the first. It's the ninth zodiac sign, right? Did I get the Ram as the ninth? 9, 8. No, 9 is the monkey. I think it's the 8th. Did I get that right? The goat. The horse, I think, is number 7. The goat is 8. The horse and the ram go together. And ram is also for Mars. And don't forget, when you write the word Mars, once you have an S, it means more than one. Also, it shows number 5 in S for the E world. And this is number 51. All you're missing is the S. And this is where your Yo 11 comes in when you're playing the game of craps. So you have your Earth, Mars, and then you have your 40 blue, and you have your 6 and 7. 1 and 5, 6, 2 and 5, 7. Saturn comes into Uranus. There's a U in both of them, also fitting to Saturday as the 6th day. We also have in this is the completion of the cube comes in with 7. 3 opposite side. It ends with Earth. So Earth is the 3rd planet. And the cube ends this way. Only when you go to this one have you doubled up with 6 and 4. When Mars comes into Saturn, note that in Saturn, the word sun rat is in Saturn, which is the first Chinese zodiac sign. So at this point, I'm counting it here. Other than the Aries, the Ram, or the Aries, I like to look at the Ram, the Aries also noted, right, to be number 1. And we're looking something at the sun, right? We're going to look at the sun. I forget why I'm looking at the sun right now. It tells me something about the sun. Anyways, we're going to also have the other sun planet, which is the Vey sun. And then we're going to have the Ura sun. So the Uranus, the Venus, and the Saturn all come together as the 7th, the 6th, and the 2nd planet, 2, 7, and 6. Just to note, if you've been here for the last 20 minutes or 20 odd minutes, I wrote the 2, 8, 9 go together. When you multiply it, it's 144. When you add it, it's 19. That 19 brings 2 systems together. Just to go around something, I'm not sure where I was with this, but just to note, as we go around this calculator, we're going to go, I think it's called the rook move. We're going to join the rook. The rook goes, and I just want to go to my last book, see if I have it in my last book. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it over here. So what happens is this calculator's, no, I can't use this calculator. I have to use, I'm going to use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use number 8. I'm going to go 1 over 2 up, 1 over 2 up, 8 connects with 3 and 1. Then I'm going to go over here, right? 8, 3, and 8, 1. Then over here, it's 7 and 6, and then 7 and 2. Then over here, it's going to be 4 and 3, and 4 and 9. Then over here, it's going to be 3 and 4, and 3 and 8. You notice that these two can connect together in this scenario. These two connect together in this scenario. Now over here, I'm going to have 6 and 1, and then 7 and 6. Can't do it here. In this scenario, I have 9 and 2 and 9 and 4. In this scenario, I have 2 and 3 and 2 and 7. These two can connect. These two connect. These do not connect. What are the stories going on right now? I'm not too sure. Never had the time to study this. I'm not too sure if I'm allowed to go like this and say T. I don't know. I'm not sure if maybe the only way to connect is like this. One is YT. Like if you say 20, it ends in YT. What did I do? 2 over, 1 down, 2 down, 1 over. 1 up, 2 over, 1 down, 2 over, 2 forward, 1 down. 2 up, 1 over, 1 over, 2 up, 2 over, 1 up. So 1 up, 2 over, 2 over, 1 up, 2 over, 1 down. 1 down, 2 over. So this is these scenarios of what's going on with your numbers. And if you notice, it's 7 with 11 in this one. It's 7 with 13. It's 11 with 13. Here it's going to be Here it's going to be 7, 2, 7, 6. This one's going to be 13. It's going to be 9 and 13. This is going to be 11 and 7. 7, 9, 11, and 13. 7 and 13 is the way the Mayan calendar works. It's also 7 times 13, right, equals to 91. And when you count 1 through 13, it equals to 91. There's 13 cards in a suit in the game of cards, and it equals to 91. 91 represents the word spirit, and it's spirit in the moon, and it brings the AI together. Don't forget, there's more than one moon. Mars has 2 moons. Earth has 1 moon. That's 3 moons. Alpha, beta coming together. Anyways, I'm a little tired right now. Been here for a little over some amount of time. I'm not sure what that time is. If you have any questions, I really don't want to go, but I don't see any questions being asked right now. So I'm just going to take a 1-minute break while I'm sitting here. I'm not too sure how to see the, let me see what it looks like over there. Could somebody send me a heart just for the fun of it? I want to see what happens on my screen. So more people are joining. Is anybody going to say, is anybody going to ask me any questions? This is all about the word, the word of the word. What is the word? The alphabet, letters in the alphabet. Every single letter gets a number. Now, every single letter is a shape. They don't call it a geometric shape. They just call it the alphabet of shapes. That's what they are. There's different dimensions of the alphabet. We can call A1. But if I flip this cube over, it becomes A6. Now, if I use 26 partitions, or if I use 36, we were brought here to do 36 partitions. 3 times 12 inches, or a yard, equals to 1 yard. We need 10 yards to equal to a first down to get gold again. If I had to realign the alphabet, I would have to put A6 and Z31 would align my alphabet between the first 5 numbers and 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36, between 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We live in the E world. It's 5, 26, 5, 5, 8, 5. The number 58 equals to 2. The number 58 will invert and end up at 8. 5 times 8, 40. 5 plus 8, 13. 1 and 3 is 4. It becomes 44. 13 and 40 is 53. 5 and 3 is 8. 85 also represents silver. So silver will end with 8. Bronze is made up with number 80. 80 ends up with 8. And gold is number 38. 3 times 8, 24. 3 plus 8, 11. 34 and 11 equals to 35. 3 and 5 is 8. Gold, silver, and bronze, 888. We are in the 666 star system of the crossing star of what is 888 1776. Where in the world do I get all these numbers? And
Am I just picking this out of my hat? Does it make any sense at all? Eventually, when I put everything in order on how to explain everything, I know it will, because it has to me, and it has to many others who've been here for many, many years. Although I'm here for about 20 years already, it's only the last couple of years where I can see where the story and what the story is saying, and the truth of what I speak, the words I choose to speak, come from the numeric value and the algorithm within the numbers. The word club equals to 38. The word gold equals to 38. The word monkey equals to 83. 8 and 3 is 11, and this Rubik's Cube is made up of all of that. And 8 and 3 comes from the base creation of Earth, which is 6 and 1, 7. There's 8 around here, and there's 3 missing here. There's your 8 and 3, 11. There's 4 empty spots here, and the opposite side, there's 7 empty spaces. That's 11. The house of bait. Born into the house of bait. The beehive. We spoke about electric company.
Times 7 equals 35. 5 plus 7 equals to 12. 3 and 5 is 8. 1 and 2 is 3. Isn't that ironic? Whoop. Wow, there's a chat box here. There's a chat box here. I've never seen this before. Let me see this. What's this? Hold on. I've got 2 different kinds of boxes here. I've never seen the other one before. Just give me a second to line up. I seem to be missing... something is missing over here. Okay, gameplay 2, gameplay 1. What's gameplay 2? Let me see this here for a second. Oh boy, there's a lot of stuff in front of me I can't see. Yeah, okay. So 5 times 7, 5 plus 7 is 35 and 12. The total here is 47, represents this word. Or this word. Or this word. Now this word is going to represent with this word. And if I reckon correctly, the value here is 100. It has 2 U's inside of it. August, July. There's 2 more signs that go with this. I don't remember what it is. I'll leave it out. But it represents Trinity. See, the piece over here is going to create the bullhorns. When you create 2 of them, right, here and here, here is your passing line over here. So your H is separating these 2 houses, and your I is holding on to these 2 houses. This is your H, right? Or if you want to look at it as that's your I. Your I supports this ball above to the earth below, and then this would end up to be the H over here. The H and the I come together. I cannot, and I could, put this together, and here it's going to create a star. This one will create the star. And then it's always going to have to be the same way. Now you got 2 stars over here. So I'm not sure what scenario this is going to tell me, but I will add in to, I'm missing one of my pieces of art here. Hold on a second. Oh boy, one piece is missing. Just hold on a second. Okay, here it is. Right? When it's beveled, it goes inside this circle. Inside here, inside here. This one cannot go inside. There's no place for it to go inside, right? There's only 3 areas. So I do it this way. Is this the right way to do it? I don't know. But I'm joining the centers and I'm splitting apart the 3. And I've just joined them all together, right? They can connect to 3. So this one connects the one here of 3, one here of 3, and itself of 3. 1, 2, 3 plus itself. So it'll be 9, and the main category is 12. 9 and 3. Remember that. That's your base creation. You start with your base creation 3, and you can add on 9 to it. Now your mirror creation is 4 and 9, and this is what separates your 12th and your 13th letter. Then you get into the E world, and you do this. And then the next side of the cube does this. And then the last part of the cube where everything gets together is right over here. This is where September comes in. And this is where the 1, 6 separate on the dice. Each one of these will be telling something different on the dice cube. Each one of these. This one over here will be talking about pi, because it's your 5 and 6 that come together, which is your reverse of alpha beta creation. Your 1 and 2 will create your 11. If you're looking at the pool ball, it'll be the red ball. Your 29 is living in the IT system of the sun. We've been crowned. So this 47, everything has to be understood to the full formation times 9, but we only live at the 7th gate. It also has to be done by 7. 7 and 9, they play a role together. I'll explain it after. This one equals to, if I remember correctly, it's 423. 280 and 56, this equals to 330. Let me get this calculator. 47 times 7 equals 329. And then when we go the opposite way, it equals to 666. And then when we go 74 by 7, $518. $518. The heavens of Mars. I'm missing 148 inside of this over here. Now, I'm not really sure what happens between these two. I'm missing 190, 190, 189 inside of this one over here. So 189 is the one spirit of the heaven's birth. 189. This is going to equal to 8 and 7. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 will equal to this. That means it's an alpha beta creation, A and B. Add 2, add 1, minus 2, minus 1. Minus, just trying to think which way I'm going with this. Or is it minus 3 for the both of them? Anyways, I'm going to leave this out. 7 by 8, 56. 7 and 8 is 15, equals to 71. It's a portal. 71 minutes, 1 hour, 11 minutes. Another 71 minutes, 222. Another 71 minutes, 333. Let's get on to 1776, right? Just by the way, that beast, and this one is energy. Or how about 74 for Jesus? See the way we've got the moon, the electric moon, to come down to what is the beast and Jesus? Now, what does this calculate to? 28 and 11 equals to 39, right? Or 28 minus 11 equals to 17Q. See the way we get 39 over here, 7 and 4? 39 is for angel, right? Number of outs in the 7th inning, 39. 1 and 7, we spoke about this before. I'm not really sure if I remember, if I can bring you back and bring you forward with this. But 17 will create 78. 78 will create 71. And then 71 will recreate 78. So it'll keep on going back and forth like a revolving door. It also represents the king and the queen, because the queen has 8 and 8 eyes. And the king has 7 and 7 eyes. 77 for Christ, 88 for purple, 88 for Trump. 88 returns to 8, where 77 returns to 9, and that's your heaven's birth between the queen and the king. The jack is 66, and this will end up to be 48 as the sun. The queen will be 64 and 16, equaling to 80 bronze, the third world. The king will be 63, which is your creation of the House of Bait, also to be known as 63, the student. The I and the R, the reverse alphabet of each other. 6 times 3, 18. 6 plus 3, 9. 99 represents Jupiter. Also represents the word 13. 13, the word teen is going to be 44, a division between night and day. And area space, 16 and 8. Third, THIR, TH, time, heaven, or teach, IR, 99, right? 99 being teaching, 99 to 86. So if you ever watch Maxwell Smart, how dumb 86 was until 99 showed up, 99 is the heart of every single side, is 99, and it's created this one and this one, these two, 3 and 6, and home king, 4114, home king, 65 and 24. 6 by 5 is 30 and 11, 41, 24 is 8, and 6, 14 creates 1441, or 181. Which is then you're going to create the high birth inside of this. This, when you multiply it and add it, will equal to what is 9 and 8, equaling to 17. The one spirit at the gate in your creation, 17 and 01. Or when you say 17, it's going to say 03. Why? The French, the way they say this could be understood as 10 minus 7. And this is your AC, if you want to look at it as your AC/DC, if you want to look at it that way. Right? Then this is going to create this. There's not many numbers that will create this. Anytime 2 and 1 are apart, we put them together, and that is electric company. It's capping the moon. It's meeting the center of this. 77 is your Christ. In alpha and in beta, in the B world. Bringing the 7th gate from the A world in between the B world at the 7th gate in the House of Bait. 17 and 27. Doesn't matter which way it is. Doesn't matter which way it is. Because 89 returns to 89. Where are we? Oh, this 518. Let me see. Did I get that right? Did we do that? Yeah, we ended up with 74's angels. And now that we've seen the 74 over here, this is what we're going to do next. Before we end this video. In fact, I got to get rid of this off my lap for a second. There was somebody saying something over here. I'm not getting any messages at all, and I don't know why. It says chat box. Let me take a look at this. What is chat box? Let me see this. Okay, anyways, I don't need that chat box. I can't figure out what it is. Let me see where I am over here. Okay, so, yeah, let me get on to that 1776, right? And remember we spoke about 5775? Well, 6771 creates 7557. 1776. Now we have 888 times 2. We have 592 times 3. We have 444 times 4. We got 296 times 6. We have 222 times 8. 14, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24. Just going to put that over here. 6 and 8 is 14, 16, 26, 28. 7, 9 2, 7, 9, 17, 26, 39, 40, 41. No. 15 and 9 is 24, 28, 37, 38, 39. We don't carry, we're adding it up to the area. Then 7, 8, 24, 26, 28. We have 28, 39, 28, or 1, 3, 1 to 6. What is this? Well, it's the one year and the 3 years to the leap year. It's also to what is 13, 31, 13 equals 57 to what is 31 and 13 and 31 equals to 75. And again, we have the 1 and 14 equals to 15. We have the 6 and 14 equals to 20. This is dart, and this is pool. In the dartboard, we have the center red and green. I like to go for red, stop, and green, go. 8 and green have something in common. They both have a value of 49. And so does Mars and birth as the 4th planet in the 9th birth. If you want to write out the word, things that go with what is relevant, EIN, 5, 9, 14 is 28. The S and T for the word first is 39. And then we can go EIN for 39. And the total of this equals to 95. Your birth into the E world, your E world birth. 45 into the house of the fox, the passing fox, and 14, home. 9 and 5. It'll repeat the same thing. If I minus it, it becomes 4. So we can see what 1776 is showing us inside of the realm we live. Anyways, I'm getting tired. I'm over here at 2:44 in the morning. It's time for bed, September 4th. Thank you for watching this video. I saw 0 comments. There are 11 people here right now, apparently. If you want to say something, please say it now. Unless I'm not able to see, I'm just going to go over for the next couple of minutes to try and understand why nobody has said anything for the 2 hours that I'm here. Moderators muted, blocked accounts, allow comments, allow gifts, activity, live chat. Let me see what this is. Live chat, hide potential spam. Maybe everybody wanted to leave spam. I don't know. So this is going to be the end of this. Things don't make sense, although there were a lot of people here. So let me see who is here, if I can say anything to anybody. So we have Dubazak, Layla, Ryan, Jesus. We have Jay Britt, Aiden, Roma, Cass. If you have anything to say, please say it now. Encourage me. If you'd like to help me out, look me up at Mr. Tackpan's Buy Me a Coffee. That would be just fantastic. And that's about it. Peace and love to you all. If you want to get one last look at this apartment, I'm going to just show you something over here. Another brick on the wall. Those bricks let me see, those bricks that you see over here it's going to create the H and the I and the number 52. So it's telling you something. It's telling you high Q. It's telling you, talking about the king and the queen, the heavens at the 7th gate, dividing 6 and 8, the house planet. Also July, if we want to go over this, we also have this. Different ways to connect. We have 12 months. The 1st month, the 4th month, the 7th month, the 10th month. Then the 13th month starts over the 1st month. The 2nd month, whoa, that was very funny. Then we have the 7th month, the 2nd month, the 5th month, the 8th month, the 11th month. Then we have the 3rd month. Then we have the 6th month. Then we have the 9th month. Then we have the 12th month. 3, 6, 9, 12. Sorry, we have the 3, 6, 9, 12. Then what we have is we have the 4th month, the 7th month,
the 10th month, and then the first month. And there's a whole rotation that's going on. It's always going to be the same thing. We're going to go to 6. We're going to go 6, 9, 12th month. We're going to get to the pig. So let's do it again. Maybe, okay, we're going to get the 6th month. And if I get that correctly, we're going to have the snake. Then we're going to have the 9th month. I think we're going to have the monkey. Then we're going to have the 12th month. We're going to have the pig. Then we're going to have the 3rd month. We're going to get the tiger. Then we're going to get the 6th month, right? And that is going to be back to the snake again. So if we start at the 7th month, we're starting at the horse. The 10th, not month, but zodiac sign, Chinese zodiac sign. Let me rephrase myself, right? And so there's a whole rotation that's going on, and this is exactly how this is set up. The other thing is we also have our months and ourselves, and I wrote this down today, so I'm going to show it to you. Right, I'm going to show you this. January is 90, right? But it's 80 plus 10. February is 96, but it's 88 plus 8. It's ironic that November is 94, but is it not? Okay, no, not November. Hold on a second. There's another 88 in here. I have to look for the other 88. Hold on a second. I hope I didn't make a mistake. I know I didn't make a mistake. Oh, September. The T in September and the B. Okay, September. This is not the month, but right. The T, the M, and the B. The T20, the M13, like your trademark, number 33. And then the B2. So we have 35, take away 103. 35, take away 103 is 68. It's going to match up with July, but July gets reduced, okay, to 58. Now, so let me look up where I'm missing one piece. I'm going to explain that to you in 1 second. Okay, we have February at 88. Yeah, I think there's only 188. So what I'm doing in this, okay, is that the odds and evens, according to roulette, on what works with the letters, what is a negative or a positive letter, T is going to be a negative letter. S, U, G, U, A are all red. This one is going to be negative, positive, and this is negative. So this is going to be 69 plus 20. This one over here is going to be 58 and 10. 40 plus 10. 26. This is going to be 1/3 and 2/3. We're splitting up the cube in this month over here. April, okay, is all red. March, we have the 13th and the 8th, 21. We're going to be matching it up with the cube. February, 6 and 2 is 8. We have 88 and 8 coming together. 88 is window. 88 is trump. 88 together is 4 times 22. 88 reverses to 66. 66. 88 and 66. 1, 3, 5, 7, 5, 3, 1. The 6 will come right over here, this box here. Right? This box here, 5 by 4 box. This box here is another 6. These two 6s will connect 5 with 7 and 5 with 7. The 8 gets placed over here. See the separation over here? And I did that according to the rectangular way that the roulette wheel is made. And having that offset 5 by 4, with the 4 I can leave a point. With the 5 I have a separation. With the point and a separation I will end up creating the hexagon.
because of this 45-degree angle point. And that angle is going to also represent the fox and the queen. The hat on the queen is not like the jack and the king, in which the queen, the 8 eyes of the queen, are not like. 70 and 90 go together, and they see it on the ATM. On the ATM, and if you want to see this on the ATM, okay, the ATM, the Q. On the ATM, the Q17 equals to 8, and the Z26 equals to 8. The total is 43. DC, Earth, and Mars is removed from PQRS, right, equaling to 70, 19, 37, 16, and 19 is 35 and 35. Otherwise, WXYZ, which is a total of 23 and 20 is 49, which is 98. What happens is they move 17 and they move 26, equaling to 7, 2, and this one equals to 53. So this is 8 and 9 to where before it was 8 and 7. It gets all moved around. And then this one goes on to the 1 key, in control 88, February in control, the 29th day. So you can see what's happening right here. This is only one dimension of this. This also gets a little bit larger. If I can just, let me see for 1 second. I just want to put the Star of David. No. Yeah, so it's over here. Let me see if I can put this up here. Hold on a second. So let me move this over a little bit. So I think it's over here. I think we're going to, let me see if I can get this in here. Right. I wish I can get it up here. How can I get it on the screen image? Let me see. Whoop, just lost everything. Okay, I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller now. I'm going to see if I can show you this. Maybe move this over. So here's what it is. You go 1, 3, 5, 7, and then the 6 connects this area space in the center here. The 8 goes over the 6 and 8, and the 6 and 8 on the cube are inverted to each other. The 5 and 9 are inverted to each other. So what happens is 7, 8, 9 comes down the center over here. So when we run it up this way, down this way, over this way, we start to create, forget about the top one, right? It's all this one over here. We go all the way up to here, then all the way down and over. The reason I show it like this is either A, it's 1 and 1, because it's the same number. When we go to M, the next one is N, right? So I'm not overlapping it. If I'm not overlapping it, I'm putting it to its own side. It's its first group of 13, and then its second group of 13. 2, 4, 6, 8 overlap the 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Ends up creating this design over here. So we did this. I did this. I showed you the ATM, what happens from 7 and 8 equaling to, 9 and 8. Yes, from 7 and 8 to 8 and 9. This is going to create this, right? This is going to, wait, one second. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8. So 18 creates this, 17 creates this. 18, 17. 8 and 8 is 16, 1 and 6 is 7, but this one will not recreate this one. These two fit together. These do not. This comes together with 1 and... They do come together, but in a different realm. Okay? This is 2 and 1 equaling to 10, 10. This one is 3 and 2 equaling to 10, 10. ACBC. I'm a little bit tired. I feel a little bit disorientated. I think we're going to end it right now. I want to thank you all for being here, whoever it was, and peace and love. And like I said, I think it's
This is my if that's possible, Mr. Tackmans, buy me a coffee. Help me out. Let's bring peace to the world. Let's bring peace by understanding the word. There's much, much more to work with, and I'm looking for others to work with me to get this into a system. And I want to thank, hey, Peggy from Montreal. Are you here for real? Or because nobody says anything, right? Nobody says anything. And I'm just going to check out the, check this out. I don't know how to get there. Okay. Peggy from Montreal. Bubbles joined. Peggy, you seem like a real person. You put up a picture there. And anyways, yeah, we're going to have to call it nighty night. Nighty night. And remember, the AM starts in the dark. The PM starts in the day. And for those who watch Sesame Street, your dreams, your cachet, your garbage can, your soul is inside the word, and your dreams are inside the characters. And your dreams are also the characters that comes from Mars. The Mars moons are noted to be phobias and demons. I will explain in my next video. Just ask me. Thank you for watching this video. Okay, I just want to see what happened here. It changed my whole outlook. Whoop. Just want to see what it says. Oh, here's where Flair comes in. What is this? New followers, likes, gifts. Trying to see team members. What is a team member? I guess right now I'm the only team member. And that's it. That's it. That's it. Thank you for watching this video. Peace.